Hello everyone, we are the Group 9. What we are going to report today is about chess. I am Trixie May De Leon and what I will report is the specified skills. Number 1 is calculation, thinking through the possible consequences of your moves and your opponent replies. Like, if I do this, then they might do that, which would allow me to do this. It's using logic to predict the game's flow. Number 2 is planning. Having a general idea of what you want to achieve in the game and breaking that down into smaller, achievable steps. A plan gives direction and helps you decide which moves are worth considering. Number 3 is tactics. A sequence of moves that forces a specific beneficial result, like winning a piece or delivering checkmate. It's about using combinations to gain an immediate advantage. And last, the number 4 is strategy. Your overall long-term goals in the game and how you intend to achieve them. It's about creating a favorable position from which you can launch tactical attacks.
Good morning everyone, my name is Micaela Nicole Calayag Ilimonsarin and I will be discuss Principle of Overload. What is Principle of Overload? The principle of overload in chess is a tactic idea where a piece of defender is assigned multiple responsibilities that it cannot manage at once. This can result in the piece being overloaded, causing it to neglect one of its duty, which could lead of losing material or facing positional disadvantage. For example, if a piece such as a queen or a rook is tasked with defending both a pawn and square or several squares, a precise attack or tactic can compel the piece to be abandoned one of those tasks. This overload can be exploited by the opponent to gain material or more advantageous position. In short, the overload principle involves identifying when an opponent's piece is spread too thin and using that weakness to your advantage. It's a vital concept in advanced chess tactics, often forcing your opponent into a difficult decision that can result in a favorable outcome for you.
Principle of reversibility. Understanding reversibility. Reversible moves. These are moves made by pieces, except fans to empty square. They can be done without any lasting consequences. Example include moving a knight to a vacant square or moving a rook alone and open file. Irreversible moves. These are moves that cannot be reversed. They include captures where a piece is removed from the board and pawn moves as pawns cannot move backward. Implication for chess strategy. Tactical calculation. The principle of reversibility helps player analyze tactical sequences by understanding which move are reversible. Player can calculate potential consequences and identify force lines. Strategic planning. The principle of reversibility guides player in developing long-term plans. Player can assess the reversibility of their moves to determine their potential impact on the game flow.
Hi everyone, I'm Christine Joy Arbadillo. I will discuss about principle of progression. The strength of chess is a universally accessible game that significantly enhances cognitive skills like strategic thinking and problem solving. Its enduring appeal stems from its challenging nature and the strong community it fosters, making it both intellectually stimulating and socially engaging. Increasingly recognized for its educational value, chess offers a lifetime of learning and improvement. The weaknesses is chess, despite its mental benefits, present challenges. It's complex to learn, requires significant time management, and can be frustrating. Its lack of physical activity and potential for obsessive play are also drawbacks. Finally, misconception about its difficulty and financial barriers to entry can limit its accessibility. Opportunities. Chess benefits from technological advancement, increasing educational integration, and growing popularity as an esport. Strategic marketing and adaptive technologies can further expand its reach and accessibility, creating new opportunities for growth and engagement.